Rockstar, why does this car not have a lot of horsepower? You know, it's got the nice doors on this, but why is this not got a lot of horsepower? This, in theory, I think this car is practically not worth the money. So if anyone has got this, there's no point in buying it. I'll go on the websites and show you which one to see what car this is. Hang on. If you've got this car, which is this one right here, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't even have it. The back end, which is this panel, I don't like the look of it. I don't like the look of the front. The only thing that is I like is the doors. Everything else I don't like. The handling, yes, the handling's nice. The doors are nice, but apart from the doors, I don't like it. I'm thinking about selling this tomorrow. So I don't know why Rockstar couldn't put a little bit more horsepower into this car to make it go a little bit faster. But you know, obviously Rockstar can't be too bothered sometimes to do stuff like that. In theory, this car is practically slow in my eyes. And if you don't know, the one time I basically drove this thing around, see how much, basically how much tread it's left behind. Left around about an inch of tar, or an inch of rubber behind. And, this thing's not really that fast. It's a supercar, and it's not fast. And the actual reason why I'm doing this video is because I put this in a garage and I never take it out, and the brakes are really bad as well. As you can probably tell, the brakes are really bad. The handling's fine. It's mainly the brakes are, respond late. They respond late, and the power is not, spreading. It's not able to get up to speed as quickly. So yeah, I'd rather you drive the T20 or even the X80. This thing is not really that powerful, and I'll show you that I've actually done all the upgrades, and basically show you that I've actually done them all.
Better than new.
So engine, yeah, level 4. Armor, I've only got level 4. We've only got 40% armor, so that's not going to slow it down, not by much. It's got the turbo, got the transmission, yeah, and this thing is still slow. So I don't know why Rockstar, this thing is just a bit too slow, and I'm thinking about selling it when I get the chance. I'm thinking about selling this. There's no point having it. It's not really that powerful. I'd rather drive the T20 or the X80 Proto than drive this. This thing is slow. This thing's slower than, some other vehicles that I've got. I don't even know why I've still got it there. Yeah, it's pretty fast, but I prefer the T20. Because what happens when I pull the T20 out? The garage. that thing, that has a delay. It has around about 4 seconds left the line. This is where. So that car has 2 seconds delay to set off the line, and this thing is way older, and this thing has no delays. See how quickly that took off? Look, I can go from a standard stop, gone. But the car that I was driving before, it basically does this. Burns out and then it goes, it's gone. It's slow. The torque is not there, the horsepower is not there, and I'd rather drive this. This is a better sounding car, it's a better sounding, it's more power behind the wheel, and this thing is more, you know, exciting to drive. So I don't know why Rockstar did that car. Oh, I know. Oh shoot. I don't know why Rockstar did that other car. That car is not really the best, you know, driving car around Los Santos. You know, the power on this thing though, you know, completely whole different story. You know, this thing is just mean. What I'm driving now, this thing's just mean. You know, it just puts the power down so nicely. I know this is 4-wheel drive. This thing I'm driving right now is 4-wheel drive. So that's probably why I like it so much, because it always has constant traction. So it is 4-wheel drive, look. But the one that I was driving just before, they could have made that 4-wheel drive as well. They didn't have to make it 2-wheel. So I don't get Rockstar sometimes. I know they're my favourite company. You know, they're one of my favourite gaming companies. And you know, there's certain things like cars that I like. I like the look and like the style and everything of the car, but you know, the power is not there. So you know, sometimes I wonder, why do I have this car still? Which garage is it in? We've got which one? I thought it was in the office. I thought it was in that one there. Nah, that's not it. Let's go through all these garages. So that car that I had before, it's not, you know, the power's not there. It's not available when you want it. There it is.
It's coming at you.
So
I'll
this
get back
car
to it
that
then.
I've just called in, the power's not there when you want it. So I don't know why Rockstar, you know, made this car in GTA, because the power is not, you know, always there. So this is the car that I'm on about. This is the car that's, you know, why did Rockstar build this thing? Because watch how slow this thing does a burnout for like a good 20 seconds. And you know, the T20 doesn't even do nothing. Doesn't do no burnouts, no nothing, and it's gone. But I know this is real drive, but you know. So it does a burnout for like a couple of seconds, look. But I know it's a rear wheel drive, you know, vehicle. Understandable. But why couldn't they make this car 4-wheel drive like the T20? Why couldn't they make this have 4-wheel, you know, drive? I don't get Rockstar. I know you're my favourite company, Rockstar, but you know, some things like this, some little touches like this, putting four-wheel drive and a car like this and a supercar, it's going to be a bit more, it's going to have better performance with four-wheel drive, and this is two-wheel drive, as you can probably tell. And this thing does not do well on the track. It doesn't do well. It doesn't. This thing, most two-wheel drive supercars, they don't do well on the track. So sometime tomorrow, when I come back on GTA, sometime tomorrow, I'm selling this. I'm sorry, Rockstar, but you know, unless you know, I would buy it. I'll buy it back, unless it's four-wheel drive. But unless that, I'm not buying it back. So, you know, I'm not buying this back until that is basically done. So, I don't know why Rockstar didn't do the four-wheel drive on this. Why is that not spinning? So I don't know why Rockstar didn't do the four-wheel drive on this. It's little touches that people realise. So if I do this with a standard stop, by then, by the time we hit this thing gonna burn out, a little bit of a burnout, basically half of the burnout. You know, by the time this car did that burnout, the T20 will be down there already by that red car. You know what I mean? It's putting a lot of power down, and it can't. These back tyres, they can't get enough traction onto the ground enough. So, you know, you have to step off slowly, just to, you know, have a no burnout for like a 20-second window. Because when you go off slowly, it doesn't do no burnout. Well, I don't know why Rockstar had to put this as two-wheel drive when the T20 and the X80 Proto, they're all four-wheel drive, all four wheels, you know, work to get the car going. So's the Kuruma, so's the armoured Kuruma. So why couldn't they do it to this? If they did it to this, if they put a four-wheel drive on that, it would have been a lot better. I would have kept it. But you know, Rockstar do what they want, to be fair.
I'm on the clock. What you want? Some wheels?
I'll pull the X80 Proto out.
I'll bring it by. Okay, I got stuff to do.
You know, that's got a lot of power. You know, or because it's all four wheels, admittedly. But you know, all the four wheels, you know, basically work together to get it going. So if I go against this wall, four-wheel drive. So the T20 is four-wheel drive, X80 is four-wheel drive, the Kuruma, armoured Kuruma and the standard Kuruma, they're four-wheel drive. So why couldn't they do it to the that other car that I've got? I don't get it. There's no point in buying it unless it has four-wheel drive, like the X80 Proto, the T20.
You're through to your garage.
No
You need me to bring you a ride?
This is gonna take up it's gonna take up some space. When you can buy a car that has four-wheel drive, like the X80 Proto and the T20, when that puts a lot more power down onto the ground. Yeah, and two is better than one, but you know, sometimes for four wheels, you know, things are better than 2. So 4 things are better than 2. So if you have, you know, 4-wheel drive on most of the cars, it's going to put a lot more power on the ground and get you going.
It's on the way.
And I know the Armored Corona's 4-wheel drive, so you know, I know that for a fact. But you know, why couldn't they do it to the other car? So I don't get it, Rockstar. I'm selling that car tomorrow. I haven't got the energy to sell it. But this car, the Armored Corona, yeah, what's this? Armored Corona 4-wheel drive. And because it's 4-wheel drive, yeah, it puts a lot of power down. It separates all the power that comes from the engine. You know, it shares all the power between all the 4 wheels. And because it shares the power between all 4 wheels, it goes fast. Well, decently fast. You know, it's done like nearly enough 2 miles in the space of like 2 minutes, or like 1 minute. Well, I don't know why Rockstar have to make it so hard for themselves to, you know, do a car. No offense to Rockstar, no offense to you know, but you're my favourite company in that, but you know, something that you do and you design and you make and that, you know, sometimes you just do things to make it harder for yourself when you can do easy 4-wheel drive, you know, stuff as you've done to the Corona and the T20 and the X80, and allow it, you know, basically make sure that the power gets to all 4 wheels. And you don't have to make the engine have to have, you know, you don't have to put so much power, you know, in the engine. So I prefer, you know, 4-wheel
What you need,
drive
boss? Some wheels?
vehicle.
I can bring them around.
I prefer it. If it's a muscle car, then I prefer
I'll bring
rear
it to you.
drive, the back end rear drive vehicles. But when it's a supercar, or even sports, then I like to have all 4 wheels going at the same time. You know, sometimes, you know, certain wheels go faster, certain wheels go slower, and this is a 4-wheel drive. So, you know, why can't you just make it easy for yourself, Rockstar? I don't know why Rockstar has to make it so hard for themselves. Yeah, like, oh, well, I'll get it right up against this concrete pole. There you go. Yeah, got the wheels spinning up. All 4 wheels. This is 4-wheel drive. And watch how fast this thing is when you get to the speed. Or because it's 4-wheel drive. And it can be 12 twin turbo. Supercharged. You know what I mean? It's a lot faster than the other car that I was driving, the one I showed on the website. I don't like that one. I prefer this. But any of the other cars that I've bought out are the S80, the 220, the Ferrari Superfast, which is obviously this one. So, I don't know, I don't like the other one, and the Armored Carina. I prefer all of them ones, and then that one. Oh, hello. Sorry. So, you know, I prefer all of the other ones that I bought out, the one that's got four-wheel drive. And this thing, I was letting my mate drive this thing a couple of days ago, and, you know, he hasn't drove one before. He hasn't drove one before because he hasn't got the money. So I basically let him drive it, and he was going absolutely ballistic because apparently the car was too fast for him. He was laughing, he was joking because the car is so fast. You know. And he was basically laughing and joking that hard that he couldn't concentrate. He couldn't get the car straight. He couldn't keep it on the road or nothing. He said, well, what I mean by the car, I mean this car. He couldn't keep this car on the road to the point he couldn't do anything because obviously it's a bit too powerful for him. V12, he hasn't got used to it. He said, I'm not driving that car again. He says, I'm not driving it again unless it's on mine. Because he basically I basically put it into Los Santos Customs. There's around about 20 grand's worth of repairs, but obviously I'm not particularly too bothered of paying for the repair because I'm quite wealthy. But you know, it's stuff like this. We need more of. We need more things like this and that over there. We need more things like this and the T20 and the Armored Carina. So we need more things like it instead of having boring cars, including that one on the website that I showed on the website, on that Legendary Motorsports website. This car that I'm about to show you is boring. In my eyes, it's boring. This one here, this car is boring. I don't like it. I'm not buying it again unless all four wheels, including that one and the other side and the two back ones, all work like the T20. Because this car, I hate it. And I know hate is a strong word, but you know, I can easily buy this and barely ever put a dent in how much money I've got. But you know, I've already got it, I don't have to buy it again, but you know. So I don't like that car, and I'm actually quite wealthy, look. So I don't really care about money. It's not the money, it's just the car, it's the performance of the vehicle that I don't like. And even this thing I think is four-wheel drive. Yep. Even this thing's four-wheel drive. I've got 23 mil. I've got, actually, to be fair, 20, 23, 22. Practically got quite a bit of money, and I can't spend it because I've already got everything. But I don't get why does that one car, like I was looking on the website with that $2 million car, why does that $2 million car have to cost so much? As you can tell, I'm not really concerned about the money. But why does it have, why does it have to cost quite a bit of money, quite a bit more money than the armoured Kuruma, and the armoured Kuruma has all four wheels drive. That's 500,000 for the car of the armoured Kuruma, and that car that I was looking at the website with for, that's like nearly 2 million for a car, for one car. And you know, I just don't think that $2 million car is worth it unless it has a tune, a little bit more power or boost, or you know, put it all four wheels like the car that I've just brung in. You know, have it basically a little bit more. Let us pay. You could let us pay for the upgrade to allow it to have all four wheels. You know what I mean? You know, I'll pay 20k to have it all four wheels. You know, on that one specific car. As you can tell, I'm not really concerned about the money. So, you know, this is four-wheel drive, and this is one of the ugly cars in the game. This is one of the ugliest cars in the game, and this thing's four-wheel drive. But I don't get it. Why does Rockstar can't do certain things that they've already done before? Why couldn't they just copy and paste some of the coding so that the four wheels drive a vehicle? You know, like if it's stuff like this, I don't really care. But it's things like those lot. Basically, these lot I care about having four-wheel drive. That thingy there is not really for speed, it's more like for show. And those other two, they're not for show, they're not for speed, they're for show. And that's the Sentinel XS, if you was wondering. That's the one that you can, you know, you can basically spawn it. And this is the standard. If you was wondering, it's not, you know, it's not the same car twice. So there's two different cars. But you know, some of the cars, some of the ones that are supposed to be fast. Even this thing over here, this thing here, the Entity XXR, even this thing is not really powerful. I don't know why it's not, you know, powerful. I wonder if it's rear drive. I wonder if it's rear drive. Yep. No wonder it's so underpowered. And the Koenigsegg's, this is supposed to be a Koenigsegg, and in real life, all the Koenigseggs, they're all four-wheel drive, they're all four wheels drive, and this thing is just rear drive. Basically, rear drive is basically back end. It's the back end drive, if you like. It's only the rear. It's where the spoiler is, and the diffuser and that. But I don't know why the Rockstar have to make certain things so hard for themselves. You know, I'm not really concerned about the money. It's not the money, it's the performance of some of these cars. You know, that car that I've just poured into that garage lift, that's practically a $2 million worth of a car that is only two-wheel drive, and it's supposed to be one of the fastest cars brands. It's supposed to be one of the fastest car brands in the United Kingdom, or in the world, to be fair, and it can't even get up to the speeds that it's processor can't even get up to. Because that Koenigsegg that I've just pulled into the garage, that should get up to 273 miles per hour, but that one can only get up to 140, and that's practically slow in my eyes. And in this car, it's rear drive, understandable, but the power, you know, there, if you like. Look, if I just touch the throttle, it's practically there. It takes a second or two, and then it boots it. But the car that I'm driving now, the power's there. You have to give it a second for it to build up compression, but it's there. And this thing, I would say this thing is faster. This thing I'm driving now is faster than the other car. That's 2 million. I think this is faster. I think this car, the Corvette, is faster than the other car. So basically this car is super slow, super slow, and then this thing is basically quite fast as well. But you know, the one that I'm driving now, that is practically faster than that, you know, that other car, that black one. That black one's slow on the website. No, I'm not racist, by the way. But I'm just saying it's black because the car is black on the website. But that car on the website, that's for 1.9. That thing is just slow. You know, I'm selling it tomorrow. As soon as I've got the energy to. But you know, that car is just really, really slow. This Corvette that's going into the office garage now, that's fairly fast. And certain Corvettes, they're not for speed. It's for more, you know, in my eyes, this thing is more for looks and aerodynamics. Corvette tried to do experiments with aerodynamics, so to see if it would cause more downforce. So that's basically a little bit of an experiment. So I rate that. And even this thing is four-wheel drive. And the oh, what's that car called? Even this thing's four-wheel drive. And the XA21's four-wheel drive. The XA21, this thing's four-wheel drive. So I don't know why a car that costs twice as much as that car that I've just pulled in the garage can't even do basically what I've just done in this car. That one specific car that's on the website, that black one, that's practically a pathetic car to buy. So I'm selling it tomorrow.
What she need
As soon as I come on, I'm selling it. I don't care.
What are you after?
And you know, I practically don't care. I'm selling it. And the reason why I think I've got the Patriot smoke there is because I think I bought it before, but I didn't confirm
Whatever you
it.
desire. Technology and budget permitting.
And I like this car more than the other one. Especially than that black one on the website. That thing's slow.
If you can think it,
Plus the power's not always there. It's, you know, it fluctuates. Fluctuates means enough words. 1 minute it goes really, really fast, and then it goes really, really slow. Then it goes really, really fast, and then it goes really, really slow. So it basically freaks out. It goes a bit crazy, loses its mind, and then it goes back to normal. Then it goes crazy and goes back to normal. And the car that I'm on about is actually this car. I'm talking about this black one here. This black one here, obviously it's the colour. But this car, it basically 1 minute it goes really, really fast, and then it goes really, really slow, and then it goes really, really fast, and then it goes really, really slow. So this thing basically, 1 minute it goes really, really fast, really, really high RPMs, and then when I brake and slow down, it goes really, really slow, and then I build up the RPMs, it goes really, really fast, and then it goes really, really slow again. So it's just zigzags all over the place. This car just does a massive zigzag like that. So 1 minute it's down, next minute it's up, next minute it's down, next minute it's up, and it's just that's not a good car to have. I don't like it. Even this thing, the XA21, even this thing's got 4-wheel drive on it. Even this thing's got 4-wheel drive on it. See how quickly that just took off. Okay, we've completely stopped. Let's just do a takeoff in this thing. Yeah, it does a wheel spin. It does a little bit of wheel spin, but it takes off as soon as it basically gets into the same RPMs and certain torque. It takes off. Oh, hello. So yeah, I don't know why that one specific car on the website that I shared on a couple of times before, I don't know why that car has to have, you know, 2-wheel drive when it can have 4. And, you know, even a couple of my mates, a couple of my friends, they're even saying this car, that same car that I'm on about, by the way, it's exactly the same car, saying, oh, is this car worth it? And I'm like, no, it's not worth it, don't buy it, it's not worth it, it's not worth buying. And they're going, oh, it looks like a nice car, oh, you know, it's a really nice, it's a really good looking car, and that, you know, and I basically pull mine out and go, mate, drive that. And then my mate drove it and he's like, oh mate, this thing shines, aka basically rubbish, dog cheeks, ass cheeks type of bad. Basically SHIT It's basically he's on about the car. It's basically, in other words, he's saying it's bad. It's bad traction, bad speed, bad horsepower, and some vehicles, you know, all of my office garage vehicles, they're all calling it. This thing has four-wheel drive as well. So some cars are basically need a little bit of a tune, but some cars don't need it. You know, some of these cars, you know, they compete in races, you know, brands and that on the Formula 1 races, and you know, some of these cars should be a little, you know, they have the, some of these cars in GTA, they need to be updated, and you know, some of these cars are just low horsepower. This thing is not really hard horsepower, but it's not meant to be. You know, if you drive this thing right, you won't burn a tyre. You won't, obviously put too much power down at once. Like you'll stop at the light. If you drive this thing right, you won't burn it out like that. But if you drive it right and go off a little bit easier, you know, you won't burn it, you won't burn the tyres off, so understandable. But you know, the cars, some cars like this, I just like to boot it. And this car doesn't need tuning. It might need some slight power. This thing might, the GP1, it might need a little bit of power at the front two tyres. A little bit, not much, but a little bit of power at the front from the engine, and then apart from that it's fine. Just to stop the wheel spin, not so much. Because if you can stop the wheel spin, then you know it'll take off a lot of times quicker. Because what the engine's trying to do, it's trying to pump out so much power at once. When you do that, and you burn half of your tread, you know, you're basically burning more tread than you actually need. So if you have a little bit of power at the front, and about 200 horses in the front, then you know it will basically not wheel spin as much. And same for the other car, needs around about 200 horses in the front. You know, I'll pay an extra 10, maybe 15k on each engine to improve it, the performance. You know, even this one, if it needs it. You know, like a Benny, even do Benny's version of these and improve the performance on Benny's motorworks. And I'd also like to see a T20, a T20 custom, like retro, T20 retro custom. That would be quite good actually. Oh, hello, oh Jesus. As you can probably tell, I'm not really concerned about money. It's not money. It's just the performance of some of these cars aren't the best. Especially that one car on that website. Jeez. That 1.9 mils car. The performance on that is terrible. I don't like that car, not at all. Not at all. I like these doors though, on this car. So I'll call in the car that is
You're
I
through to your
don't like
garage. You, need
because
me to
of the
bring you a ride?
performance. I'll call it in um and basically I'll have a little bit of a ride around in it, depending if I can find it. This is the car right there.
It's coming at you. Alright, I'll get back to work.
I just don't like the performance, how it performs. It just performs so bad. And you know, my mate said that instead of buying this car, instead of buying this car, he said I'd rather put a couple of extra thousand, like an over 400,000, 500,000, and buy the T20 instead of buying this thing. Instead of buying this thing, I'd rather buy the T20 because I let him drive this one and the T20, and he says I prefer the T20. This thing is slow. This thing is so slow. That's what he said to me. So I'm selling this tomorrow. I'm about to get getting rid.
That is green.
I don't like it. I don't like this car. I really don't. This car is practically a bag of nails, a bag of nails in my eyes. It's a bag of nails that needs to be sorted. I'm sorry, Rockstar, if that offends you in any way, shape or form, but it's practically the truth. Even one of my mates said that this car, the one I'm revving, it sounds like a bag of nails. It sounds like a bag of nails. It performs like a bag of nails, and the performance on this thing is just the worst performing car. Because he said the power's not there, power's not available, you know, you want to go a bit faster. I've done all the engine tunes to this, you know, and it still doesn't put the power down enough. In my eyes. It still doesn't put the power down. And that's another thing, that because this thing's rear drive, the backing knocks this thing out a lot. Because this thing is a rear drive, you know, vehicle, it's a you know, the backside rear drive. The back end likes to swing out a lot. You know, he likes to do a lot. So I don't know what Rockstar has done to this thing, but it's not the great performance car that I thought it was going to be when I first bought it. And I have done the engine, bought and paid for, done the exhaust and all of that. Spoiler, I didn't like the other spoilers, so I basically just went for the stock. Transmission is done, turbo is done, and you know, the tyres I went for street, because some of these tyres are all grippy, more grippy than the some of the tyres. So all of these tyres are a bit more got a bit more tread, on these, and I like these tyres a little bit more than the others. So I don't know if Rockstar will fix this vehicle, or would they leave it. I don't know, but you know, when I get the chance, tomorrow when I've got a bit more energy. I'll be selling this tomorrow. It is basically, what time is it now? It's basically nearly 12 o'clock. So, I'm gonna go get to bed, get to sleep, and then I'll be back sometime tomorrow. And I've had a long day today. I've had a long day today. Did a lot of work. I'm quite tired because of that. This thing still doesn't put the power down. T20 goes faster than this. The McLaren P1 goes faster than this. The GP1 even goes faster than this. And the GP1 is older. It's older than this, and this thing is only a couple of years old. It's only like 2 years old, and the GP1's around about 3, maybe 4 years old, and this thing's like 2, maybe 3. So this thing should put more power down, and you know, separate the car, because you know, it doesn't. I've had this car at its highest peak of RPM, so its highest peak of speed, and it still doesn't put the, you know, the necessary power down. So, sorry rockstar, but you know, until this gets fixed, I won't be playing it again. And I'm gonna tell my mates that, you know, as well. So if I can give my mates, if they want to have a little bit of a experience of how this thing drives before I sell it, then I'm basically let them drive it to give them a warning on this car. You know, it doesn't put the power down enough. The X80 Proto, the T20 and the Armored Karuma, and all the fastest of the 4 hours super fast, all of those cars put more power down, and you know, all between all 4 wheels, this thing is, you know, it doesn't do that much in my eyes. This thing's just slow. And the Dominator GTX, I've also got one of them things as well, and the Dominator GTX, the power on that as well, it's not great neither. So I like the looks of it, but the power is not there also.
You calling for some wheels? I'm Johnny on the spot. I'll hook you up.
At the finger of my
I'll bring it by.
Tips, to if I need to boost it, just in case there's a train. And when I mean by a train, I mean Sunday Shores Airfield.
What the fuck, dude?
Train goes along here. You know, that car that I was in, just the one I just returned to storage, that 1,900,000 car, I was passing this railroad tracks over in Sunny Shores Airfield. Basically the train came along from this direction. I was coming from this direction to try and cross the train. I seen the train coming down, I floored it. The car took a minute to, you know, to get traction, and then as soon as I got to this little bit here, the train came along, clobbered me, and made me spin out. So, you know, it made me spin out, and I had to go to Los Angeles Customs and basically get it repaired, and basically me and my mate weren't happy about it because it wasn't enough power in the engine to, you know, get over something like the train track.
Shit, that wind is
I like the sound of it. I like the sound. It's just the power. It's not there. It takes like a couple of minutes for it to boot, and then it boots as soon as I say that. Yeah, it takes a couple of minutes to get this thing going, or to get it really, really going. Alright, and then I'm gonna go. Bye.